Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Marked by Wrestling and welcome to NXT. We are fresh off of Stand and Deliver, fresh off of WrestleMania, fresh off of the Raw after Mania. There's a lot of things going on. Fresh off of a Pat McAfee interview with The Rock earlier today. So there's lots of things happening in the world of WWE. And, well, let's get into it. Here now, together forever, all that good stuff. And let's get started. They're still in Vegas, so we will see what the evening brings. Justin, good to see you. Dawsey, welcome. We're getting a little recap of Stand and Deliver. You know, it's crazy. That was only a couple of days ago. George, welcome to the chat. As always, glad to have you with us. Stand and Deliver was a great card. I think it was so overshadowed by the very high highs and the very low lows of WrestleMania. Some incredible matchups there, and also a lot of surprises last night on Monday Night Raw. So I'm hoping to get into those things maybe during the commercial breaks. Give a little bit of a post-show Raw review since I didn't get to spend too much time with you guys in there. Sophie, yes, I did. I did see a good portion of Rock's interview on Pat McAfee this morning while I was working on some other things. And yeah, I have things to say about that as well. You know, sometimes in life, I'm a little pessimistic about things, and I don't like to be proven right when I feel that way. And that just appears to be where we're headed with WWE's relationship with one Dwayne Johnson. But still getting that recap from Stand and Deliver. Stax Lorenzo has turned his back on the D'Angelo family, and Dark State took over from there and won that six-man tag. And then, of course, they had that. Of course, Stax also doesn't seem fully done with people in the family either, because they teased that before the show was over. Yeah, I know he did have a straight face when he said all that stuff, Sophie. I just couldn't. Whew, yeah, when we get to it all, to a commercial break, we will get to some of this stuff for sure. Justin, how do you feel about? Hold on, sorry. How do you feel about Seth Heyman and Braun together? Also, yeah, Roxanne Perez challenged Stephanie after Stand and Deliver went off the air, which I didn't see. I heard about it later and showed up on Raw last night to further that feud. So, yeah, Seth Heyman and Braun, I will just say, when I was a kid, even though I didn't like bad guys, in retrospect, I really enjoyed the Dangerous Alliance. So if we're doing a thing like that, I am here for it. I like that combination. There's a couple, not too many. We don't want to go full NWO on this, but maybe just a couple of more pieces to that puzzle, I think would be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So we'll see what happens. I'm thankful that we have that story to sink our teeth into and not just, you know, what there is to do with the WWE title. But yeah, we've got an impressive slate of champions now. Hank and Tank pulled it out. That was so much fun to see. And they are still in Vegas. They're on the Strip. There's the Pyramid. And the big castle there. All right. There's the MGM and New York. Let's see what gets started off. Now, we do have Bailey and not Bailey. We have Liv and Raquel versus Gigi Dolin and Tatum Paxley, and that is opening the show tonight. It looks so they are in the I think it's called the Fontainebleau arena or theater for this. So they have a full-on stage here, and it's like a one-sided setup. So pretty interesting. What did you not want to do, Dawsey? I'm sorry. I missed something. I'm just seeing your chat now. You know, now that Dom is the Intercontinental Champion and the Judgment Day ladies have the tag titles again, I feel like they might retain as well. I was really hoping whoever won in NXT would win the tag championships because there's so many more women in NXT that can be paired up as teams right now. I was really hoping that we could do that. Vic Joseph, this is where they did the Hall of Fame. Vic Joseph already roasting Booker T for being asleep during the Hall of Fame. So we got Vic, Booker, and Corey on commentary. Everybody seems like they're in a good mood. But yeah, Tatum and Gigi coming out now. Let's see. There wasn't anything pointless about my rant. My rant was mostly about The Rock. I'll tell you what was pointless was the tag title switch. I mean, there was no point in doing that. They could have turned Becky heel that night. Three Diglets is with us tonight. Liv and Raquel, they are the greatest women's tag team champions of all time. I hear I hear that in the voice of Santino Marella for some reason of all the times. Welcome, Diglets. Glad to have you here. No, I maintain that once the AJ Styles Logan Paul match started, WrestleMania went downhill and never recovered on Sunday anyways. And it was on track to be an all-timer before then. Every match achieved something really big with the crowd, whether it was the moment of getting the crowd to react or just the in-ring work. There was a lot of good stuff on night 2 until after Randy Orton and Joe Hendry. That was the last bright spot on Sunday night for me. And then Saturday was a little hit and miss in some spots, but they had some really high highs there as well. So, but here we are. The bell is rung. I see most of you calling for Liv and Raquel. And it makes sense now that they were going to recapture the titles, because when Gigi and Tatum won, I was like, well, Liv and Raquel, surely they're going to be who's matched up against them. But yeah, who was it? George, you said, yeah, Lash. And I would have liked to have seen Lash and Jakara in this, because Lash and Raquel could match up really well, and Jakara and Liv could probably match up pretty well too. So this is an interesting choice. I'm not a hater for Tatum and Gigi. I think they're pretty good, but I just I wasn't drawn to the potential of this match at all. So we'll see what happens. Okay, Raquel just airplane spinning from like a front face lock position and just grinning while she does it. But she's grinning like she's having a good time, She's got, actually, Raquel's kind of got a babyface smile. I don't know if she should smile while she's a heel. They've dedicated this match to Dominic Mysterio, the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. But so Liv going for a cover. We only got 2 there. It's an interesting setup here. Again, they're in the building where the Hall of Fame was over the weekend. So there is that sort of theater vibe in the architecture and stuff. So it's kind of an interesting look for it all. And of course, just having that stage in the back is a nice touch as well. Mandy Rose ruined this match. That is that's a take, man. To be fair, I never really got into Mandy's NXT title dominance. Her run, and I don't want to take anything away from her, but I don't know, man. I just never connected with her. The most I ever connected with her was the story she did with Otis, which is crazy. But I never really got into that much more. Tyrell Breed, Black Panther Gaming, good to see you. Welcome into the chat as we are here for NXT, and the opening bout is the tag title match. The only other thing I've even heard about tonight is that Lexis King will be defending the Heritage Cup against a mystery opponent. Apparently, Penn and Teller earlier today. Penn and Teller reappeared the Heritage Cup after making it disappear during the during Stand and Deliver. Oh man, moonsault off the apron by Tatum Paxley, landed a little short. They kind of got feet in the face. Yikes. Oh, and they're going to show it again on instant replay. Yeah, she rotated too fast and almost kicked Raquel right in the face coming down. That's tough stuff right there. All right. You guys are here. We're in a commercial break. So, let's get to some of this stuff, shall we? Yeah, all right. So I'm just going to pick some random things. Sophie, did you see the rumored Mania card that was online for the Netflix documentary coming out this summer, WWE Unreal or something? Yeah, so they've been plugging this WWE documentary series that's basically about the writer's room. Now, someone who's been a fan as long as I have, like, there's that part of me that's like, ooh, I'm kind of interested to see that. But at the same time, I am not looking forward to them opening the curtain that much more. Ladies and gentlemen, time for a cameo. Mrs. Marked by Wrestling in the house for the next few minutes before she takes our lovely children.
I was going to say, like, do we really want them to, like, open the curtain like that?
Exactly. She knows, she has better instincts than I do about this stuff. You want to have a seat for a minute? Or you guys got to go running?
You might walk out. But, I mean, it's just like, a part of the allure is, I mean, that's the point of the channel, right? Is to just be captivated by the story.
Yeah.
And allow yourself that, like, willing suspension of disbelief to speak as an English teacher. And I'm like, I don't know. Do you want to ruin that?
Right. Well, like, I remember back when DVDs were like a thing, right?
Yeah.
And they would have like the director's commentary on there and they would talk a lot about that stuff, but you had to like dig deep to find that stuff. Yeah. That was not the kind of thing they advertise on Front Street, you know? Yeah. And for something that as an industry has like prided itself on that kind of secrecy, that sort of invisible line, it feels like a bit much.
Yeah, and I mean, I think for me, right, like, I would love it because I'm killing your set.
It's okay.
Because the human element is what I love.
Yeah.
But I think if you're into the mystique of it all, it could ruin it. So
yeah.
I don't know if I'd like that as like a mainstream thing.
Well, and that's the hard thing too. And at any point you need to stand up.
Okay,
I'll just turn.
Okay.
All right. Love you. Thank you for stopping by. Everybody say hi and say bye. So, but that's the thing, right? Is that, I saw, it looked like what they were using in the documentary was the Royal Rumble from this year. And there's a quick shot, because that was when Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens had that really dangerous match where they were going through ladders and stuff. It was a ladder match. And Cody is falling on the mat at some point, and you can hear one of the directors or whatever in the writers' room being like, oh, don't worry, he's just selling. And like, I don't want my mind to immediately go to that place when we're watching a TLC match. It's okay. If
okay, I'm just going to put it down this.
Okay.
Crash behind you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I know. That'll make me jump, I'm sure. Appreciate you so much, though. Mm-hmm. Have fun, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. So, yeah, you know, I mean, it seems like it's one of those things like maybe it could have been a good idea, but no, not so much. I see some of y'all's comments about Rock's appearance on Pat McAfee. We're back now. We're going to focus back on the action, and from there, we'll revisit the conversation because I have things to say about that. Also, next Tuesday, make sure you look out for A&B Combos wrestling podcast, because I do believe we're going to be talking Three Kings. Good to see you, man. You said those DVDs with the director's commentary. Listen, I love that stuff. I do. I really do. But like, it's just not, that doesn't need to be on the front street, you know? Yeah, I feel like we're all, as they say, simpatico about Dwayne's explanations for WrestleMania. But we'll get to that next commercial break. Will be Rock Talk, I promise. All right, so we're back at it. Liv shimmying her way around the ring. Little low enziguri there on Tatum. Tatum's taking a beating here. I don't think Gigi's even been tagged in yet tonight. I got to tell you, I mean, I'm happy that Liv Morgan is a tag title holder right now, and that she at least got on the WrestleMania card. She was one of the queens of that 12-month period between WrestleMania 40 and WrestleMania 41. She did so well in her role, and I just couldn't be happier for her. I honestly, when they lost the belts to Bayley and Lyra, I was hoping that she would go after Lyra on a singles run and get the Intercontinental title. Because while Io and Rhea and Bianca and all them are fighting for the heavyweight title, or the women's, I guess they didn't call it heavyweight for the women, but for the world championship, I think she could go on quite a tear. And also, matchy match Intercontinental champions with her and Dom. Don't tell me they wouldn't make the fans sick with that. You know what I mean? I think that's our opportunity, but it looks like maybe we're going to get Lyra and Becky, or maybe Bayley will be reintroduced into that. I don't know. I'm not loving Becky's whole thing either. Man, okay, Gigi, ripcord clothesline. That was dope. She's coming in House of Fire and she's laying it in. Did Gigi always have game like this? Because it feels like she's busting out moves I'm not used to seeing her do. And respect for that, because most of what I've seen from Gigi is kind of body-based offense, So I get it. Justin, about Gunther and Pat McAfee. So the thing is, the NFL draft is this week. And when I saw him attack Pat McAfee, I was just assuming that he was getting written off TV so he could focus on NFL coverage for the next couple of weeks. But I don't know. Maybe they will work that at Backlash. Or I've heard rumors, it's just people spitballing and theorizing, that maybe McAfee calls in a favor, and that's how we get, I don't want to manifest it, but that's how we get Goldberg's retirement match. But Three Kings, yes, she definitely stepped it up since teaming with Tatum and Shotzi. That's a low-key great faction that I don't. Oh my goodness, 450 by Tatum, and Gigi coming in for the cover. Lives right there though. Okay, this team's winning me over a little bit more. I think I just need more time with them. I didn't mean for that to come off creepy. If it did, I need to see them work more. They're almost like a female Hank and Tank for me. It's clear that they've got something. I just need to see more of their matches, and I think I will grow in my affection for them. But yeah, good tag team stuff. T-Man, good to see you. Happy NXT Tuesday. Glad to have you here, T-Man. Yeah, I feel like if they were to shift the women's titles, okay, they're going for their finish, but here comes Liv with a code breaker off the top. And, Tahana Bomb coming up. Yeah, that might be elementary here now. Oh, and setting Raquel set her right up for the Oblivion. Great teamwork. That's going to do it. Yeah. I like the idea of the women's titles kind of like building a nest in NXT. But I don't think that I don't think that they're the team to be the one to bring the titles down, as we can see. You know what, Diglets? Show of hands, everybody. Does everybody remember the old "Thanks Obama" meme? I think "Thanks Mandy" should be our NXT meme for whenever we're dissatisfied with something. We may not use it a lot because NXT's on fire like all the time, but if we can get "Thanks Mandy" trending within Marked by Wrestling, I think we can hit a "Thanks Mandy" every time something comes up. I have starred that comment, and if I know what I'm doing, we will bring it back every time we're dissatisfied with something. I would have used it a heck of a lot on WrestleMania weekend for the main card, at least. You know what? I thought the match was fine. I thought it was a fine TV match. It let Gigi and Tatum show a little something, as a team. But, man, I mean, A and B say it all the time. Like, NXT should have women's tag titles. Okay, I saw this earlier in the day online. Penn and Teller teasing a mystery opponent for the Heritage Cup. Dawsey, she was the first double champion. I saw that. Oh my gosh, she was so petty about that, dude. So petty about that. I'm like, do you know what? I thought I was taking crazy pills on social media that week that Stephanie won both belts because people didn't seem to understand the difference between a unification and a double champion. And I'm like, unification means one of the belts goes away, and double champion means you defend both titles separately, which is what Stephanie was doing for that brief window of time before releasing and relinquishing the North American title, now held by Sol Ruca. But there we go. Oh, this is a whole. This is the whole recap from Stand and Deliver when they made the Heritage Cup disappear. Teflon Don in the house. I don't care if it's Roman Reigns, Raising Cane's, or you wear Hanes, Lakers in 5. All right, Steven. Oh, how's it? Greetings for the Mod Father. Thank you, Mod Father. I am a big fan of Raising Cane's. Anybody that has chicken tenders as a gimmick is going to get at least a few visits out of me. And also, I'm kind of a picky eater, and I'm down for the cane sauce. I'm usually not that way. Alexis King's going to take on Vacant tonight. No, I'm just kidding. Could you imagine if Joe Hendry showed up again after Randy Orton and then Joe Hendry took the Heritage Cup back to TNA? I'm still waiting for this TNA WWE partnership to involve titles being taken back to other places. Ricky Saints is in the building. Okay. All right. We're on commercial break. All right, y'all. Let me loosen up here. So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was on Pat McAfee's show earlier today to address many things. First, to take a victory lap about how much money WWE made at WrestleMania, which is something I expected. But Pat, to his credit, did ask him about WrestleMania, asked him about the final boss, about the "I'm going to take your soul" character, and it was nothing short of BS and disappointing. I have sadly been trumpeting the idea that The Rock doesn't have a plan for months. That he comes in, he tells everybody to shut up and complaining and strap in for the ride and all this other stuff. But he doesn't actually have a plan. He shows up when he wants to show up and thinks that his presence will be enough. And it's not. Wrestling fans are better. I said better, but they're smarter than they used to be. I don't even know that they're smarter than they used to be. Like, wrestling fans just deserve better. Like, I feel like whether he's even doing it on purpose or not, he thinks that the nostalgia pop he gets when he shows off. Yes, I did 3 Diglets. I saw him on Pat's show, and I was not pleased. So a couple of highlights. I wish I'd written it down beforehand. One, he claims that he was invited to an elimination chamber because they were not having good ticket sales. That's why he was brought in. And so the whole "I want your soul" Cena heel turn segment was purely Rock just showing up. Like, that was not a long-term plan. So he does this number, I think, just to justify going and doing that last September, to make it seem like it was connected, when neither of those times they knew what they were doing. And he credited that Triple H, this is what I believe happened from the things I heard him say versus the things I heard him hint at. I believe that he wanted Cody to turn heel and Triple H said no. And that Triple H instead suggested Cena turn heel instead. And Rock was like, oh yeah, that'll be big business, whatever and stuff. But what's funny about The Rock, and it's funny about Cena's heel turn, is there's this theory online about the film Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first Indiana Jones movie, where he's, looking for the Ark of the Covenant and the Nazis are chasing after him, blah, blah, blah. If you're of a certain age, you've seen that movie a dozen times. If not, you've at least heard of Indiana Jones. Well, there's a joke that's existed online for a long time that if you remove Indiana Jones out of that movie, the plot never changes. That he's actually inconsequential to the plot. And the fact of the matter is, pairing Cena and The Rock The Rock did nothing for that story. All it did was put The Rock on camera and then feed all of the expectations of the crowd that he was going to show up at WrestleMania as well. Because Cena had already won the Elimination Chamber match. He was already booked right then and there before that segment even started to be facing Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania for the heavyweight title. So if you want to turn Cena heel, you didn't even need Rock or Travis Scott, for that matter, in the ring to do it. He could have stayed in the ring. Cody could have come out. They could have shook hands, hugged. Cena still could have kicked him in the balls. And then it's why, Cena, why? Because if you notice, those 3 or 4 promos Cena cut leading up to Mania had nothing to do with The Rock. His whole MO is the fans are a toxic relationship, which is a whole nother discussion. I actually think the fans are proving Cena right and how they're responding to his heel turn. And then Rock did not need to be there and then decided he didn't want to be there at WrestleMania. And he's trying to make it seem like he's being generous and giving a moment to Cena. The Rock didn't need to be there for that. Final boss, not now. So Three Kings asks a good question. What's the point of The Rock giving Cena the cutthroat sign? I'll tell you exactly what it is, Three Kings. It's so nobody can call bullshit from September. It's so nobody can go back to Bad Blood and say, you know what? That didn't even mean anything. You came out and didn't know what you were talking about. If he comes and does it again before the heel turn, now it's like, oh, it was just this big, long plan. But no, absolutely not. He made it. He tried to force a thread that wasn't there. I mean, just like the same way he was all buddy-buddy with Cody in January, and then all of a sudden at the beginning of March, he wants your soul. Like, he just shows up and just decides he wants to mess with creative. He is Vince McMahon with a better skincare routine and better clothing. Like, he is, I mean, only in terms of booking, though. I'm not trying to get in Dwayne Johnson, the man, but his involvement and the storytelling of pro wrestling. All right, we're back. Dark State is backstage. Dark State approaching No Quarter Catch crew, telling them they need to separate. Here comes Javon. Javon Evans wearing a Rodman t-shirt, by the way. Bigger cheap nails. Let's see. Okay, Javon Evans and a guy I can't remember from No Quarter Catch Crew. Is that Miles? That's not Miles Bourne. I'm still learning Catch Crew's name. All I know is Charlie Dempsey because that's Regal's kid, and Ren Sinclair, of course. But is that? I think that. Oh no, that's Miles Bourne. He's the guy that looks like mini Randy Orton in the ring. No, I think he is at least partially deaf. That's what the lisp is about. Because he makes a lot of jokes. He makes a lot of jokes online at his own expense from time to time. So Ricky Saints coming in the ring, not dressed for action, but so we're probably going to get a promo out of Ricky. George, by the way, just revisiting, Cody Rhodes did carry that story the entire time. And I was angry at Cena at first because I thought he was just kind of wasting that. But honestly, even after watching or listening, I was driving. I couldn't watch it, but I was listening to his promo to Open Raw last night. I thought he was doing his absolute best to get over as a real heel, but the fans are ruining his heel turn, particularly Las Vegas. But the WWE Universe in general is ruining John Cena's heel turn by forcing cheers for him. And I can't stand that because I respect the heck out of a heel who really tries to make you hate them and doesn't try to Kevin Nash it and be a cool heel. Cool heels drive me crazy. But yeah. Oh my gosh, there's a dude in a Trump shirt. Sorry. Okay. Okay, taking a victory lap. Ricky Saints taking a victory lap. We said Ethan Page always going to be a thorn in his side. But Diglets, I agree about Miles Bourne. I think he's got a heck of a future ahead of him. He's just got a great look. Like you said, aura. T-Man, CEO, saying the Travis Scott part at Mania didn't really mean anything to me during the match. I rewatched the match and I was like, what was the point? 100%. It was pointless because we only ever saw him one time before that, and that was at Elimination Chamber. Like, he did one incremental step better than Dwayne did. And it's just absurd. Just absurd. Okay. Ricky's getting interrupted. And dang it, Def Rebel. Oh, it's Lexus King, complete with his Heritage Cup. But Lexus is supposed to be taking on a mystery opponent. Oh, shout out. Lexus's left knee pad is a shout out to his dad, Brian Pillman's Horseman gear. It's that 4 and H in there. Ricky can't seem to get away from the ex-AEW guys, you know? I'm sure it's by design, but it's interesting storytelling. Hey guys, I need to go check out a channel mascot real quick. I will be right back.
You lost the four-way, so you don't have a shot at that. It seems to me that your mouth keeps writing checks that your little ass can't cash, partner. You know what I love? I love a lot of things, Ricky, but I don't love smug, arrogant tricks like you who think they can get over with this gullible audience. Newsflash, brother. Nobody likes you. They love the king.
Okay, so they're going a little back and forth. Sorry, everybody. Thank you for your patience. Oh, hey, buddy. Come here. You okay? I got a hyper puppy in the house. Lexus and Ricky are going back to back with back and forth with each other, but I don't know. Something's not clicking. How do you guys like this promo so far? Lexus is not really getting responses from the crowd. I hate to see it.
We'll make it a double champion match. Ricky Saints versus Lexus King. Cup versus title. One fall, winner takes all. I'm going to put it to you like this. You are a very special individual. Oh, my God. The fact that you're even worried about me right now when you have a mystery opponent is very telling. And since I already know that you went and talked to Ava about all this, guess what? You're on.
Okay, so Lexus still has a mystery opponent, but Ricky has accepted a challenge from Lexus for a double, basically a double championship match. I don't know if that's set for next week or what. I'm sorry. That's the problem of stepping away. Sorry. One of the Marked by Wrestling titles fell off. So, okay. All right. Here we go. We are back to the discussions at hand. Any more questions or thoughts about Dwayne? Would love to hear them, and we can absolutely revisit it. I will say Monday Night Raw, very interesting. I am 100% here for the next iteration of the Dangerous Alliance with Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker. I like Seth. This gives Seth a real reset and refresh for me as a fan, because Seth is really talented, but I feel like he's always around, So sometimes I got tired of him, kind of like how I felt about Kevin Owens at the end of the year last year. Like, he just found a new gear, and I was loving it. Three Diglets, I kind of agree. Stuff with Lexus seems forced, and I really am sad about that because if there's anybody I want to like, it's the son of Brian Pillman. I freaking loved Brian Pillman. He was one of the original high flyers, at least in America, in WCW, and then loose cannon Brian Pillman. I mean, he was loose cannon in WCW before he even made a pit stop in ECW, and then on over to WWE before he left us. So yeah, I want him to succeed. So if he needs to be in NXT that much longer to find that switch, just I hope they don't give up on him. I want him to succeed so bad. Anyway, so Raw was great. I missed the Rusev return, but I'm glad to see that he's back. Again, happy that Dom is Intercontinental Champion. I think they can have fun with that run. I don't know where they're going with Gunther right now. By the way, I was 100% on the money with calling Dom to win the Intercontinental title so that Braun Breaker could move up to the main event. I had no idea they would do it in 24 hours, but here we are. I was moved by the Jey Uso celebration, and also I think we all said this sort of thing, but there was a bit of tension there with Sami Zayn just watching him. And I got to say, even if Sami doesn't turn heel, because I feel like everybody's turning heel these days, it's kind of whatever. I would like to see a babyface matchup with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn for the world title. And so I'd be there for it. Then it was cool to see Jimmy show up. I really thought Roman would come out. Maybe not take over the segment, but just like meet him in the aisleway or by the entranceway. Just give him something quick, I really thought that was going to happen. So I kind of got tickled at the end when Braun Breaker showed up and beat the brakes off of Roman. I was like, well, you know what? If you had paid homage to your Uso, like the rest of your family, maybe they would have shown up to have your back. But you didn't, because you're trying to be the lone wolf now. But Jacob Fatu's the lone wolf. So that gimmick's already taken. So you're just going to take a beating because CM Punk's just going to watch you bleed and then begrudgingly probably pair up with you when neither one of you have anything left to do. But that being what it is, yeah. A&B Combos, by the way, if I've not said hi, so glad you guys are here. Thank you for being here. By the way, if you guys want to support the channel, I've got my my different donations. Oh, my goodness. Thea Hale coming in to congratulate the new tag champs. And Sol Ruka, too. Just glad to see Thea Hale back on TV. Jada walking in, sounding hungover. Why everybody being mean to Thea? Come on, man.
You can do it yourself.
Ooh, Fatal Influence walking away from Fallon. The backstage skits are always a trip in NXT. You never know who's going to pop up, and I give them credit. Sorry, guys. I give them credit for trying to keep multiple story loops spinning as we do that. But yeah, break Fatal Influence apart. Thanks, Mandy. See, that was for you, Three Diglets. Who we got? Is that Noam Dar? Is Noam Dar back? It's also blue. I can't tell. Yeah. The man from Metaphor is back on. Here we go. Yes, A&B Combos. We can't wait to dig in this Dwayne business for the podcast on Saturday. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have just watch the video when it airs. I'm gonna have 3 Celsius cans across the table. I'm gonna have energy, and I'm gonna have to prepare my statements or something because Dwayne, gotta stop messing with my storytelling, dude. Gotta stop messing with I sound like an old grandma watching her soap operas. You gotta stop messing with my programs Messing with my stories. We're going to be fired up. We'll be all fired up. Pray for Becky now. Pray for Becky now, because me and AJ for sure are going to be explosive. I can feel it. Becky might be explosive too, to be honest. We haven't talked face-to-face yet since all this dropped. But anyway, Noam Dar is the surprise challenger for the Heritage Cup. Could Metaphor bring some is it gold? Can we call it gold, the Heritage Cup? We'll see. You know, the yellow and gold, the gold and purple on Lexus King's tights. He looks like one of those extras from the early King of the Ring pay-per-views, like 93, 94. They would like open the doors, the entranceway. They were just like little court jesters. Actually, I think the Hardy Boys were those jesters one of those years. But he's definitely got some like early era King of the Ring vibes. Alex, I did watch some of Just Alex's stream about Dwayne, and he was in his feelings. And respect to Just Alex. I left a couple of comments in there. Big difference. Oh, Noam Dar is just to lick his hands and is trying to rub his face to see if his beard is painted on or not. That's actually a pretty funny spot. But yeah, one big difference between me and Just Alex when it comes to Dwayne is not on my Mount Rushmore, never was, is not one of my GOATs, never was, and now probably never will be. Doesn't mean he's not supremely talented and wasn't one of the marquee characters of his era. But you can't I cannot be convinced of that. But I'm not daring anybody to convince me either. But I know he's held on hallowed ground for a lot of fans, and so I'm not going to try to convince anybody they're wrong. But he's not that for me, and never has been. All right, Diglets. This is a loaded question. Who's my Mount Rushmore? Because I think too hard about this kind of stuff, I automatically want to be like, can you give me a category, like best in-ring worker, best promo, best whatever? But I mean, it is best overall, and we have to commit to that, right? So if it were up to me, my Mount Rushmore, and I'm not saying them in order, okay? These are just the four names. Thinking about what Mount Rushmore is and all that other stuff. These are who I think are best all time. And that doesn't mean that they're my favorite wrestlers either. I want to make that qualifier. Some of them might be, but not all of them. I'm going to go Hogan, Austin, Flair. And the fourth one is either Andre or Undertaker, but I would lean Undertaker. So I'm going to say Hogan, Austin, Flair, Taker. Those are my four. And so there's several wrestlers I like better than Hogan, and quite a few I probably like better than Taker too. Just because of like who my favorites are and what I'm drawn to. But if you had to say, if a layman, if just somebody out on the street said, give me the pro wrestling Mount Rushmore, I think you'd have a hard time pulling any of those names off the Mount Rushmore. Hey, and we've got a quick roll-up finish. Noam Dar has snuck in and taken the Heritage Cup away from Lexus King. So Lexus King no longer has a Heritage Cup to defend against Ricky Saints. He feigned that knee strike and hit him with a back elbow instead, and then caught him with a roll-up, and that was that. Noam Dar has returned, and now he's holding a title. So now I wonder if Lexus King will just have a whatchamacallit. Oh, that's tonight. Okay. Stephanie Vaquer and Roxanne Perez tonight, guys. Load up your plates during the commercial break, because we're going to do this. So I guess we'll just get Ricky Saints versus Lexis King at some point for the North American title and North American title only. So, okay. All right. Diglett says yours is Hogan, Austin, Rock, and Flair. Hey, again, you'd be hard pressed to pull those off. Those are 4 faces of a generation. 100%. I mean, people can make the and listen, you know, there's so many interchangeable names that are good. So got a super chat in from A and B. You had me at the care. Yes. La Primera back on NXT. And that was from A. Really? It wasn't from B? Okay. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I imagine my surprise when I was rolling down the freeway last night and decided to tap into Netflix and listen to it on the way home. And then I heard, wait a minute, what do you mean we got Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky on free TV? I thought that women's segment on Raw was fire. There was a part of me that was just kind of like, oh, man, like, we're doing this now? Like, I mean, and I appreciated that it was a little bit of like an appetizer. It was a little bit of a tease. You know, it's not a full-on, it's not a full-on feud we're probably getting. Just a little tease, you know, a little this, little that. And I wonder if WWE's trying it that way because I think about Brock, right, who like is not with the company now, and we don't know if he's ever coming back, and how he had those little stare downs on the Rumble with like Braun Breaker or Gunther, and like now we never got those matches, you know, or like we still haven't gotten the Jacob Fatu Braun Breaker thing, and you know, but they tease them in the crowd from time to time to be like, let's see if the crowd's into this, and the crowd's overwhelmingly into it, but we don't circle back around to it. So I can understand wanting to go ahead and pull the trigger just a little bit on Raw, just to give everybody a little taste, you know, a little sampler platter, if you will. But yes, thank you so much, A and B, for that super chat, and super grateful. So, yeah, Mount Rushmores are interesting because, you know, you could make a case for Brett, for Kurt Angle. I mean, you could make a case for Brock because he was a UFC champion and a WWE champion. You can make the case for CM Punk if you want to. You can make the case for Triple H, which I would have laughed at before, to be honest, because I always thought he was he lagged a little bit behind in my mind to the rest of the top tier Attitude Era guys. But you can't ignore what he's done backstage now too. And he's, you know, what he's done for the company, both in and out of the ring. You could make a case for him as well. Diggle says my Rushmore are for the ones who are most iconic. I mean, again, I don't think you'd run into a lot of conflicts on those 4. I mean, those 4 are so purely understandable. Like, especially, let me go back and see yours again. I know we differed on Rock. I said Taker and you said Rock, but Hogan, Austin, and Flair were the faces of generations. You know, like those were people that you would know, even if you didn't know wrestling, you did know who they were. Especially Hogan, and certain regions of the country, especially Flair. Flair might have had out of those 3, might have had a bigger influence on culture, especially if you look at like hip hop culture, which makes all the sense in the world once I see it play out. But the first time somebody told me, like when I heard rappers and whatever be like, yeah, man, we were all about Ric Flair. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? 4 Horsemen Ric Flair? We talking about the same Ric Flair? Like this guy right here, Ric Flair? This is who we're talking about, you know? Old school AWA Ric Flair, by the way. Yeah, it totally makes sense. And because I remember in 2008, right? So my brother and I went to WrestleMania that year. It was his Hall of Fame year, the first time. And I remember the promo montage they made that was almost all 605 WCW, Tony Schiavone, TBS promos. And the sound bites they had from there were beautiful. Everybody goes to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing. But my favorite one is when he's dressed up in a suit and he goes, that's why this sport coat costs $800 and that one and yours costs $600. And I don't know what that one costs. I'd be ashamed to wear it. And just like 85, 86 Ric Flair, unmatched promo ability. All right. Roxy's backstage talking to Sarah Schreiber. looking a little bit like she's cosplaying Naomi, but not a lot. Here's a question for the chat. And it's a who do you want, not who do you think question, okay? Who do you want? If Paul Heyman recruits a woman to the New Dangerous Alliance, what woman would you want to see in there? And it's fine if the woman you want is Becky Lynch, because I can understand how that makes sense. But if you want somebody else other than Becky Lynch, leave it in the chat. I'm just curious what you guys think about that.
I know that because I had to defend the plan. I seen that she would took 48 hours after Stand and Deliver. But if I was anything but the prodigy, the Grammy Award-winning NXT Superstar of the Year, I would have lost. But unfortunately for Stephanie, I'm the prodigy. And she may have walked into Vegas as champion, but I'm going to walk out a 3-time NXT Women's Champion.
I mean, Roxy's totally losing this match, but still, I'm here. I am here for Roxy and Stephanie. And Roxy's grown on me a lot too. I did not know. I did not see a ton of her until we started doing this, but yeah. Okay, so Zarya or Nikki Lyons. Interesting. Okay. That feels like outside of the box thinking, Justin. I'd love to see Zarya. Actually, I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago that I felt like Zarya could fit in Dark State. But yeah. All right. Thea Hale. Oh, Thea's from Pittsburgh, Kurt Angle country. All right, Thea and Fallon, who do you guys got? The NXT Shayna Baszler. Good call, T-Man. Good call. Yes, indeed. NXT Shayna Baszler was different. A lot of NXT performers were different when they were in NXT. All right. They were telling the story that women's wrestling in the locker room has changed while Thea's been gone, and I see that. All right, here we go. The only one that seems like it would fit for me, it's Flair. Now, everybody, take a second and bask in the intellectual ingenuity of my brother Three Diglets and read these 4 names: Rollins, Heyman, Steiner, Flair. Whoo! No Triple H pun intended, but check out that pedigree. Check out that pedigree. That's Diglets. That's horseman level stuff right there. I didn't even consider Charlotte. I was sitting there thinking about, who was I thinking about? Becky obviously is a choice. If Bianca went heel, it would if she ever went heel, it would be fun. Oh man, respect to you, my good man. But yeah, all that could be good. All right, match still continuing. Also, have you guys seen the Karrion Kross interview he did after Mania? It seemed like it was half or 75% shoot interview. I'm really hoping they do something with Karrion Kross. Fatal Influence just staring down Thea, but they're not actually taking shots at her. Oh, miscommunication. JC Jane takes out Fallon Henley by accident. Oh, headbutt from Thea Hale. Now tossing Fallon back in the ring. And now takes out Jasmine, who deserves it after her behavior at Disney. Oh, okay. Cartwheel, a double underhook. Slam. Oh, we're about to get an armbar. Kimura. Uh-oh, she's in the ring. Taps out faster than Gunther. All right, Thea Hale takes it. There we go. All right. Thea Hale wins, and there might be some dissension and fatal influence. We'll see what comes of that in the coming times. Meanwhile, the ruler is here, lurking out of the shadows with a shiny shirt. Obafemi on his way to the ring. Man, Obafemi made that switch up from leader of the Jabari tribe to Nigerian rock pretty fast. And I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I gotta say, one of the biggest unexpected laughs I've had in the past 6 months, or however long it was ago, when Obafemi won the NXT title and he cut that promo. He came out and he's I can't do the Nigerian accent, so I'm not gonna try. But he says, everyone comes out here and they talk about how they didn't believe in themselves, but I always did. I never doubted. And he goes, I'm not one of those guys who's going to come out here. And then he puts on the black stand-up comedian doing the white person voice. And he's like, oh, well, I didn't think I could do it, which sounds almost like Urkelish when it comes out of my mouth. But that line from Oba, totally threw me out of left field. That was so funny. Such a good promo. Justin Hallencrane brings up a controversial suggestion. What about Tessa Blanchard? Now, here's the thing. For starters, I want to preface this by saying none of us really knows what's going on backstage and people's personalities and relationships and what's a work and what's not. Clearly, she's a very unpopular lady in professional wrestling, at least with people who are in higher standings than her, right? If that were to work itself out and she was brought in, holy crap, the amount of heat she would help generate for that group, and also her ability, and talk about pedigree, man. I already mentioned Horseman. She not only, and I don't know how many of you guys know this, I didn't know this until I was an adult. Not only is she Tully Blanchard's daughter, she is Magnum TA's stepdaughter. I did not know that feud was so real life that Tully and his wife got divorced and she married Magnum TA. Apparently, they're all on wonderful terms as a family, but could you imagine being the child of well, actually, no, that's going to be insensitive because he's passed away. All right, I'll think of a good example in a minute. But could you imagine being like Tom Brady's kid and then you get adopted by Patrick Mahomes? It's yeah. So she's got so much potential if she could just get out of her own way. Diglets, I'm seeing numbers similar to that too. I am skeptical. There's no activity in the chat that looks particularly suspect. So mods, just be on the lookout. My numbers look incredibly higher than normal. So maybe we're just getting watched by a lot of people from other planets or something. I don't know what's going on. But Jordan Grace, hey, that would be Paul Heyman would love her too, I bet. And that's the thing, is that I feel like they're letting Paul Heyman have a voice in this and who he's picking. Obviously he doesn't get full control, but Braun Breaker being a part of that group screams having Heyman's influence in it. So I hope they let him continue to have a voice if that group expands on who he could have join them. And I mean, surely he's got to have a lady in there. Now, the Occam's razor of it all would say Becky Lynch, since she turned heel that same night that group kind of debuted. And I wouldn't hate it either, having Seth and Becky together as heels, as long as they're not cartoonishly evil. I'm done with the cartoonishly evil Seth Rollins. He had a good time with that. Give him new music, something the crowd can't sing to anymore. And go from there. That's the hard thing about Heyman being the front of a group. As evil as Heyman is, as much heat as he can get in one moment, he doesn't actually possess long-term heat because the crowd loves him too much, because they respect him too much. So that's tough. Obafemi has made his way to the ring. Still posing. I love Obafemi's entrance presentation. That backlit spotlight is just brilliant. Dude, Obafemi would be a monster with Paul Heyman as well. I mean, he's got a great history of picking out dangerously agile big men. And George, I'm curious who would line up next for Obafemi if it's not going to be Trick, and it's clearly not going to be Javon. He's already trying to take on Dark State. So I'm curious what we got. What if Heyman calls up Trick Williams? Because I was about to say, what's Trick going to do now? Nice. I took their dreams. I set them ablaze, burned them to ashes, and told them to wake up. Man, that's some Muhammad Ali stuff right there. Love it. Oba chance. Just for irony's sake, I just want to say the guy opposite the hard cam wearing a Trump shirt is cheering for Oba. I'm not trying to start nothing with anybody. I just think it's funny. Oh, okay. Hold on. A little testimony from A&B Combos. Standing in line yesterday at WWE World Experience, and Obafemi walked by. I gave him a shout out, and he acknowledged me. The finger red number. Oh, that's so cool. Love it. Oh, that's so awesome. Oba seems like a decent dude. Okay, Obafemi's giving Javon his props. Young OG chance. They got to do something about the Velcro on these belts. I just heard the big shh right in front of the mic. Here comes Trick. And listen, take note of what Oba was doing. That is classic champion talk right there. Ric Flair did that every week. His MO is the guy that I beat was amazing in the ring. Amazing in the ring. I'm just better. And that's why I'm the champion. And that's how you put over your competition. Oh, that is Oba's birthday. Happy birthday, Obafemi. Look at them shoes Trick got on. He looked like he about to start playing Little Red Corvette. Trick don't need any heels on, man. He's tall enough. You just want Trick to wear some tiger print already? Your mama like him. Joe Hendry's here. Who said his name? Who said it? Let's go. I didn't say it. Which one of y'all said it? Which one of y'all said it? Oh, Corey Graves said he's the one who said it. I was just about to, before Hendry showed up, Tyrell, I was about to say the exact same thing. Trick Williams is on some Rhea Ripley stuff right now, complaining back and forth. I love that they still have Hendry here. Oh, that's so good. Not just a one-off. Love it. Y'all, that was such an epic WrestleMania moment. That was so epic, him showing up for Randy Orton. First of all, Randy wearing his 2002 colors, his debut SmackDown, like his rookie year colors in his gear was so epic. I was geeking out over that. And then for Joe Hendry to be the guy, man, that was just a legit amazing. That was a WrestleMania moment. Here's the question. Could we get a title versus title match? I need one of these men to have the other one's belt. And if it's a triple threat, I want Trick stealing the TNA title.
Trick Williams, you are not the same person that I tagged with back in the fall. The rumors are true. You've changed.
Aw, Joe says, Trick, you've changed.
The cheers, the chants of the fans, and now all you do is soak in self-pity.
Boom.
I proved what happens.
Joe Hendry's playing the role of Bianca Belair, except he's not getting booed for telling the truth. How can you not? I mean, you know, you don't have to love Joe Hendry. Oh, T-Man, that's a great time. You said you can't stand Joe Hendry. I don't know what it is. I was say, how can you not be happy for him? I mean, because Joe Hendry is a dude who just worked his butt off and caught, like, willed himself to get the attention of people. Oh! Joe is drawing the ire of Trick Williams. But about Joe Hendry, Joe Hendry is basically what if Zack Ryder's push wasn't fumbled. Trick Williams has gotten so much better on the mic. I mean, he wasn't ever bad, but he's really good now.
I believe you don't fit in. I believe you got your ass whooped on Sunday. Let's talk about it.
Trick Williams is talking his ish.
And I believe that you can take that title going back to where you belong while the big dogs go.
He said, take your little title and go back to where you belong.
You know what? I did lose to the RKO, and I did it in front of 60,000 people at WrestleMania.
Joe Hendry said, I wrestled in front of 60,000 people.
And you were in the stands.
Oh, let's get it. I was in the ring and you were in the stands.
Will defend the championship at Rebellion this Sunday. Well, he has some business to discuss with the NXT champion.
Is he challenging Obafemi at Rebellion? See, Trick thinks he's Io Sky, but he's really Rhea Ripley, if you know what I mean. Oh, man. They are Cap and Bucky and Trick. Civil War reference for you guys. Treating him like Tony Stark, just taking turns. I did not have Joe Hendry interrupting Obafemi on my bingo card. A and B, are y'all still here? Are we gonna get a true Forbidden Door type match? Is it gonna happen? Oh gosh. It's more cinema with the family. Stax is out in the desert. I think if you look closely, you might be able to see Walter White and his tidy whities running around somewhere. Out comes a Dodge Charger, maybe, or a Challenger.
Luca, thanks for meeting me here. What the hell were you thinking? You and Tony go back to childhood. You know how many times you've been in a pension somehow, somewhere? Tony saved your ass.
I have a hard time believing a mafia gimmick like the D'Angelo family has to come all the way out to like the Arizona desert to have a secret meeting. Or maybe it's just because they're in Vegas and they had to figure something out. Why are you telling Luca to shush? You guys are out in the middle of nowhere, dog. Is Luca back? What just happened? I think they just Goodfella'd Luca. What did I just see? I am led to believe that Stax just had Luca whacked out in the Nevada desert. What is NXT, you guys? What is NXT? Dude, this is amazing. The D'Angelo family drama is so sensational. I don't know what to do with it. So it looks like, man, Stacks might be turning on the whole family. Seriously, A and B, Goodfellas, baby. I mean, Luca made that Joe Pesci face when he walked into the empty room. You know what I mean? And almost said the same thing, but we cut to black. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Being a wrestling fan, dude, I'm telling you, if you can just relax and have joy in the moment, says the guy who crashed out so hard on Sunday. Actually, you know what's funny about that? So if you look on my channel, a couple of bits of news of Marked by Wrestling. Number one, I isolated and cut my rant on the end of the Cody Rhodes John Cena match and the remainder of WrestleMania Night 2 as an individual video. You can go back and watch. If you didn't join us for the live stream and you wanted to hear me crash out, which rarely happens on this channel, I did. And if you want to be entertained by that, I encourage you to go watch it. Also, now that WrestleMania is over, tomorrow morning, I'll be debuting a new video on Marked by Wrestling where if any of you guys are ball knowers of WrestleMania and go way back with me, you might know that WrestleManias 10, 20, 30, and 40 all have very familiar endings with Bret Hart, Benoit Guerrero, Daniel Bryan Danielson, and Cody Rhodes, of course, at the end of WrestleMania 40. So I took that idea and I decided to predict what if WWE wanted to do that again at the end of WrestleMania 50. So it's not so much a prediction as it is, and it's not a spoiler, as it is just kind of a thought exercise. So I would really appreciate it tomorrow once that video drops. If you would take a listen, take a look, and participate with me. I want to invite you guys to participate in that thought exercise and think about all the things that have happened over the past 40 WrestleManias, and if that could clue us into maybe who they want to elevate or who they might actually have on their roster by then, 9 WrestleManias from now. And see if maybe you can predict who might be the person that's held up on everybody's shoulders, who gets all the confetti, who's holding the belt, and all that stuff. So anyways, I had a lot of fun. That's a video that I've been wanting to make ever since I launched the channel. And it took a lot of research to find out what all those guys were doing, 10 WrestleManias before they had their moment and stuff. So anyways, it was a good time. I hope you enjoy it. I put a lot of love into that, like a grandmother cooking a baked ziti, So I hope you enjoy it. And so that'll be out tomorrow. So I hope you take some time to check it out. Thank you guys for complimenting that rant too as well. Listen, man, I believe in honoring the fans who are honoring you, especially at a day and age, and A and B can testify, when the tickets are so stinking expensive. I got really excited about the thought about maybe taking a couple of my kids to go see Money in the Bank or the NXT AAA Worlds Collide, because the tickets go on sale Friday. And then I just had to have a reality check. And I'm like, man, I think it's probably going to be a long time before I get to go to a live show again, the way TKO is doing their ticket prices now. So anyway, Tyrell Breed asked, have you played the Assassin's Creed games? I will come back to that in a second, Tyrell Breed. We're talking to Zaruka right now. They had themselves a bit of a touching moment at the top of the ladder as well on Saturday. It was different. Oh, Liv and Raquel just rolled up on Zaruka. They are talking trash to Zarya.
Nothing is going to come between Zaruka. So I suggest you guys move on before I decide I want a third title. It's my collection. We're going
to. What do you guys think for a possible Zaruka versus Judgment Day Ladies Tag Title match? I'd be more excited for that than what we saw tonight. And tonight was a good match. So, Trick is crashing out. He just throwing stuff around. Did Joe get hurt his feelings that bad? Now the camera cables are done messed up. I can't even see a picture anymore. I can hear stuff, but I can't see anything. Did we just lose the feed because of Trick crashing out? Oh my gosh. It's like the alternate universe of WrestleMania X7. Okay, well, they've cut back to the ring now. And Javon, okay, yeah. Javon Evans is coming to the ring. Okay. Yes, Tyrell Breed. So I played all the way up. I played through the Ezio games. I played the first Assassin's Creed, and then I played all the way through is the one called Revelations, where you can play as Altair and Ezio together. I think that was the last one I played. So here's the thing, is that I'm on PlayStation Plus. So I actually have like 3 or 4 more just tucked away in PlayStation Plus that I haven't gotten to yet. But I've always loved the gameplay of those games. I love the choice of stealth or no stealth, and love, the parkour and the acrobatics. Oh, Diglett's, our boy Miles Bourne is in the ring, taking on Teeman, with Javon Evans tonight. They're going to take on Dark State. Justin, wrestling is belief and wrestling is hated, but also wrestling is forever life. Also, is Trick crying in the car? I think he was on the way to the car for sure, and he already started crying before he got there. But good call there, Justin. All right. Dark State now just walking down the aisle like regular old people. All right. We are learning names every week from Dark State. It looks like we're going to have Dion Lennox and Osiris Griffin be the tag team tonight, and Cutler James and Saquon Sugars be the guys on the outside. So we've got Dark State versus Javon Evans and Miles Bourne. Any predictions in the chat for who you think is going to win? I don't have any reason to believe that Dark State's going to lose yet, so I'm just going to lean on Dark State and predict that it's them, and we will see what happens. Don't forget to smash that like button if you are here and want to keep the channel seen and supported. Javon Evans had an impressive showing. All right, so we have, George wants Javon and Miles to win. Justin is calling for Dark State. Yeah, Javon had an impressive showing on Saturday. He continues to impress. I'm really surprised that so far into his career at NXT that Javon hasn't won a title yet. Like, he hasn't been North American champion. He hasn't been a tag champion. I mean, definitely hasn't been an NXT champion. I don't even think he's won the Heritage Cup. And so I'm just surprised for as clearly high on Javon as they are. Dawsey got him a mention here. Crashing ATV into that like button, y'all. Man, come around that corner, and then boom, is running too tight. I was trying to turn to the left sometimes, and then boom, hit it. So that lady flopped down. She sold it like a stunner, like a shotgun blast to the chest. And then before I know it, hell, Nick Collins over there trying to say, hey, don't sue us. We still got a show to run. Man. Javon, he does kind of feel brand new. That is true. So, but yeah, crash that ATV into the like button, guys. So good. That's a goated like button comment, Dawsey. Great one. Great job. All right. Man, Miles clearing that top rope. You don't see Randy do stuff like that. I say that because like it's kind of a running gag that he's got a bit of a he's got some Randy vibes, It's also got a pretty high drop kick. Justin, what did I think about the Rusev return? I'm happy that he's back with the company. Clearly, he was unhappy where he was before, and so hopefully he can get some more usage, some more mileage out of WWE. I thought it was telling that he debuted in the mid-card segment, so that just tells me that that's probably at least where he's going to be settled for a while. And if he's cool with that, then fine. Although, and it seemed like he's a heel, right? Because he attacked Otis. And right now, both our mid-card champions are heels. We got Jacob Fatu on one show, and then Dom Mysterio, although the crowd is starting to cheer him. So we'll see. They what? Three Diglets? They did Rusev dirty on the WWE.com roster webpage. They used a photo of him when he only had the mustache. And on Rusev Day, no less. That's just foul. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. I did hear that Aiden English is a free agent. So if they wanted to go the Rusev Day route again, although it looks like we're going into destroyer mode for sure, at least for now. So we'll see what comes of it all. Yeah, and you see no quarter catch crew out there on the rampway. I'm not gonna lie, their little team jackets are actually kind of cool. Justin, I don't know if Rusev is going for a single or a tag title. I'm not who he'd partner up with. Can you guys tell me? Because I didn't see that segment. So I know that he attacked the Alpha Babes. I don't know what they call themselves anymore, if they still call themselves Alpha Academy or what. And I know the New Day kind of bailed. Did it seem like he could have also attacked the New Day? Is Rusev like an attack anything that moves kind of guy? Did you get a vibe like that, or just straight heel? And it may be hard to tell from just that initial segment. I don't know, but something I'm just curious about. I wonder what he's going to be, since I didn't actually catch that segment yesterday. But Dark State's still running things, and Javon just fighting for his life. The rest of the catch crew not really looking impressed with what Javon's doing. He could have attacked the New Day. Okay. But he is a heel. All right. Yeah, I mean, Redeemer Rusev, I think that serious edge of Rusev would do well in today's WWE. I don't really I mean, I make the jokes, but I don't really want to see I don't really want to see funny Rusev right now. I mean, I think let him come back and have a serious run for a little while before you start fleshing out that character again, and then go from there. Yeah, so Javon fighting his way back. Man. Goodness gracious. All right, I'm going to scroll back in the chat a little bit because I think there were some other questions coming up. Let's see. All right. Yeah, so Bailey did an interview with Chris Van Vliet. Looks like before WrestleMania, but it didn't air until today. And it was clear she'd already been given the creative that she wasn't going to be at WrestleMania. And it was a really awkward moment where she almost alluded to the fact that she was taken off the card. And it was clear that she seemed pretty dejected by that. And I just hate that for Bailey, especially now that we've seen some of that creative flesh out now. Because if you believe dirt sheets, which I believe them as far as I can throw them most of the time, the word going around was that they were planning on bringing Becky in for a while, but they wanted to wait for the right creative. And if the right creative is her showing up at WrestleMania, getting the big return pop, winning a title, then losing the title next night so that she can turn heel. And Bayley just gets sidelined as a result. That's really awkward. It's unfortunate for Bayley, especially because, I mean, you guys might disagree, and I understand that Becky Lynch has main evented a WrestleMania and all that stuff, but I don't view Becky and Bayley as being that far apart as far as being on the same level. Like, I see them pretty similar as being on the same level. Now, Becky has gotten some of the higher accolades, but they've both pretty much accomplished almost everything a woman can accomplish in WWE in their generation, apart from being in the main event of WrestleMania. They've both won the Royal Rumble. They've both won both TV shows titles. They've both been Money in the Bank winners. Actually, Becky has not won Money in the Bank, I don't think, now that I think about it. No, that was when Asuka won Money in the Bank, and she just gave her the title. So no, Becky actually hasn't won Money in the Bank. But nevertheless, they both accomplished a ton. And Bayley, I think, was far more over in NXT than Becky ever was when they were both down there. And I mean, Becky went back later. So, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that if they had done that to Maxine or Natty, or as much as I would have hated to have seen it, even like a Lyra or somebody, if they had done that to any of them instead, but swapping out Bayley for Becky like that, I would feel a little smacked in the face by that. So, you know, and that doesn't seem right. And Becky, I want to give our Becky from A&B Combos credit, because she had some spicy things to say about how everyone has all this hate for Charlotte, but all this reverence for Becky Lynch. And honestly, they're not really all that different in their, and I say them, I'm talking about their booking, because I don't know them as people, and I don't know how much input they even have to these decisions, but they are both booked with the same entitlement, and the crowd dumps on as Dark State takes the win. And I'm sorry I didn't do a lot of commentary on this tag match, but Dark State just won. I'm not super into No Quarter Catch Crew right now, and I didn't think Javon had a chance because Dark State has just been running roughshod off everybody. But nevertheless, Becky gets a lot of love where Charlotte gets a lot of hate, and to the point where, like, even Becky, when she turns heel, gets cheered. Like, so it's not like, oh, Becky was a face and Charlotte's a heel, and that's why they're not actually, treated the same. The only difference I'll acknowledge between the two of them is that Becky has gone through more character work than Charlotte has, and I don't know whose fault that is. Because Charlotte has had a pretty, I don't want to be mean and say stale, but a very consistent gimmick almost her entire career in WWE. But at least there's been some evolution for Becky, from last kicker to the man to Becky 2 belts and all that stuff. All right. Who we got? Oh, it's Inamura. Oh, Inamura's leaving to go back to Japan. I was just starting to like him. I have a feeling Inamura just played Ava. He straight up lied. Inamura straight up lied. old Japanese secret. Oh my gosh. He just totally swerved Ava into getting them a title match as a goodbye present to Inamura, who ain't leaving. Oh man, that's good. Well, man, he worked me. I was like, oh dude, I was just starting to like that team. That was dope. Okay. That's funny. So next week we're gonna get Hank and Tank versus Riggs and Inamura. So that ought to be fun. Yeah. So anyway, it's just interesting how some performers operate the same way and get treated differently. Also, like it doesn't seem like there's going to be any more advancement between, Bianca's involvement in that Jade story. And so the fact that the crowds still kind of start to boo her, even though all she's ever done is tell the truth, is wild. Somebody on social media recently was like, how wild would it be if Bianca was walking backstage and she bumped into Karrion Kross? And he was just like, don't you get sick of everybody treating you like crap when all you do is walk around and tell the truth? And like just start to send her like on that spiral. I don't really want to see a heel Bianca because I'm not totally loving heel Cena right now. And she is female Cena in the best ways, in the good ways. So she's a better wrestler too. But anyway, maybe that's neither here nor there. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with that. So, all right, we've got SmackDown coming up on Friday this week. And that should be headlined by the TLC match between the Street Profits, DIY, and the Motor City Machine Guns. So let me know what your guys' excitement level is that going into it. So Justin asks, when do you think we'll see a AAA guy? I'm curious how much time they will spend sort of preparing the lay of the land before they bring someone in. So if I were to guess, I think they will wait closer to the summer to like SummerSlam or something like that to bring someone in. I feel like Vikingo is it could be sooner because it feels like Vikingo might be the guy who finally eliminates El Grande Americano, if anyone can. If anyone can, maybe it's Vikingo. We'll see what happens. So because bringing him in at Mania and making him present there definitely got my attention. So seeing him and Americano in the ring would be a lot of fun. Now, y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but I actually low-key wouldn't be mad if they even though it's a 2-night SummerSlam this year, if they put that match on Raw or SmackDown and made it the main event and let them wrestle for 30 to 45 minutes instead of giving them 10 minutes on the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? For something like that, I would rather them be relegated to weekly TV if it meant they get a longer match. But also a potential matchup of that capacity deserves to be seen from a stadium perspective. So ideally, I wish they would give a dream matchup like that due time and big stage. But with WWE, and this isn't a slam on these guys, but it feels like unless you're Roman Reigns or John Cena, you're not getting that extra time in your match to be focused on. And partially because those matches take that time because they're slow-paced storytelling matches or, cinema matches. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Dossie Chatham with another Mount Rushmore level comment here. Karrion wears his hair like who he's talking to. I want to see him with Bianca hair. I tell you what, right now, I'm screenshotting the heck out of it. If Bianca turns a corner and we see Karrion with a braid, that would be so wild, so wild. Love it. Thank you, Dossie. You've kept us entertained all night. Okay, now cinema part 2. Tony's in a hotel room or going to a hotel room. Oh, he's going to see Adriana. Like she's in witness protection or something. They are playing. Sorry if you guys hear the doorbell. My puppy is being antsy. But now they're realizing they haven't heard from Luca in a while. Justin wants to see Axiom versus Vikingo or Ilya versus Viking. Ooh, Ilya. Yeah, I'm ready for Ilya to come back, dude. There's so much he can do. I can't wait for him to come back and start having some matches again. Okay, this has gone from drama to melodrama. I mean, straight up to the background music. I liked it when the family was like sitting in an Italian restaurant or backstage doing a intel debriefing on Dark State. But this is a lot. You know, this is kind of amazing that it's on the CW because this feels like I'm watching a CW teen drama right now. Adriana's totally getting kidnapped. She's totally going to get kidnapped, and it's going to be Stax versus Tony for her freedom or something. I wish you guys could see Booker T's face right now. The look on Booker T's face as they cut back to the announce team after that segment was just screaming, "Tell me I did not just watch that." It's like a telenovela or something, man.
Set that out to win the North American Championship. Guess what? I don't know. You, Lexus King, you've got everything to gain and nothing to lose, okay?
Now who's about to interrupt Ricky? Oh, it's Ethan Page. Sarah hold up the mic and she's like, you know what? I'm just going to leave. Oh, now Lexus King is attacked. Well, yeah, Ricky Saints continuing to be haunted by ex-AEW guys. So he's got Lexus King next week for the North American title, and Ethan Page still looming in the wings. And we've got Roxanne Perez entering the arena, ready to take on Stephanie Vaquer for the NXT Women's Championship. All right. Let's see. Okay, guys. Well, what are you making of NXT so far tonight? There's been some big surprises. There's been a few interesting segments backstage and cinematically speaking. But yeah, what are you guys thinking so far? Any guaranteed marked moments for you guys yet? I mean, I know we still have the main event to go, But I got to say, the Joe Hendry appearance, a big surprise. So seeing where that's going to go, sounds like it may go back to TNA. So if you guys are watching Impact, yeah, we might have something good on our hands. Now, I'm also intrigued. So George wasn't really feeling the women's tag team title match. I am intrigued for them planting seeds of Liv and Raquel versus Sol Ruca and Zarya. I think that's a better physical matchup for all four ladies too, with an agile girl and then a giant, so to speak, or a heater, as they call them. So I think that would be awesome. So, however, we also had allegedly Luca getting whacked out in the Las Vegas desert, and Adriana Rizzo in witness protection. So, I think we're all tempted to blame Stax for this, but I think we all know who to blame. Thanks, Mandy. So, we'll see. Maybe Saints will be the third guy in the human body. I feel like a reference has just been made that I didn't catch. So enlighten me here, A and B, on this, or anybody else. My apologies. Okay. George, can you imagine Sol Ruca and Zarya winning the Women's Tag Championship, but that's not going to happen. And I can see Asuka and Kairi Sane going for the Women's Tag Championships. Yeah, I don't know what's been up with Asuka. I know Kairi was hurt for a while. She had surgery, but, she's been working out. And, dude, Kairi looks great. She's been lifting. She has been lifting, and she's going to come back, and I would not want to be the first woman to take the elbow drop from her when she comes back, dog. I hope Asuka's okay. She's had a little bit of issues with stalkers, it sounds like, which really makes me worry for her. At least that's what I've heard. But I never knew her to be out, at least to this degree, to this length of time, because of an injury. So I'm hoping maybe they're just waiting for the right time to debut her. By the way, Asuka, another fantastic nomination for Heyman's group. But yeah, Asuka and Kairi coming back as a team. I think they would be a worthy returning team to take the belts off of Liv and Raquel. I just deep down, since it doesn't look like they're gonna reinstate the women's NXT tag championships, that an NXT team would win them. He was whacked, and that's wiggity wiggity whack. Wiggity wiggity whack. Chris Cross, for those of you who don't remember, wearing Looney Tunes t-shirts with backwards jeans on them. Battleground Tampa, May 25th. That's the day after Saturday night's main event. Heyman. Okay. I thought that might be what it was. I'm sorry. Kabuki Warriors. Yeah. Or Julia joining the faction. That's also a great female choice. So Ricky Saints being a Heyman guy could be a lot of fun. Oh gosh. Are we going back to the D'Angelo family thing again? Oh no, this is Andre Chase. Oh, he's got a briefcase. Tell me it's the sweater. He's going to take out the Chase U sweater. Yeah. I can't believe they did this cinematically and didn't do it backstage. We're back, baby. Let's go. Spoken like a true college guy. By the way, just leaving money on the table, but Pat McAfee should do a segment with Chase U. I mean, the dude literally is a host for College Game Day. I work for free, guys. Just help me get monetized on here. I'm just saying. Yeah, well, when Thea Hale showed up again, she gave Andre Chase permission to revive the university last week. So That'll happen. So next week we've got Hank and Tank versus Inamura and Briggs. And then we've also got Lexus King and Ricky Saints. So we've got some more decent matches coming up next week. But here comes the NXT Women's Champion, La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer. I think Booker T's been saving his energy all night. Hey, don't worry. Like, spell check and autocorrect comes for us all at some point in life. Could be way worse. I think somebody in y'all's chat last time, I think Diglets might remember, or it was one of mine, really unfortunately misspelled the word rope, I think. And it made the conversation real awkward for a couple of minutes. So it happens to the best of us. So Stephanie Vaquer now back on NXT after facing off with Io Sky on Monday Night Raw. And she's been on that same blue gear for the past 3 days. God bless her. She only had one set of gear for Stand and Deliver. And now she got 2 more matches while she's still in Vegas. All right, guys. Let's drop the predictions. I feel like we all be confident as to who's going to take this one, but let's go ahead and make it official. Got to go with La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer. This may indeed be the swan song for Roxanne Perez on NXT. We'll see what happens. San Fernando, Chile. It was so sweet seeing her go back to Chile in that video package at Stand and Deliver. Oh, now she's like a Duke Blue Devil because the blue horns. That being what it is. I could totally see R-Truth with Chase U. I think he would fit well with that. Honestly, if they needed like a big, like quantity big matchup for Chase U, I wouldn't hate on R-Truth showing up to be a recruit or Otis or Tozawa either, to be honest. And Maxine too. I mean, that would be a lot of fun. The former Alpha Academy temporarily transferring credits to Chase U. Lean on the collegiate language. I think that would be a lot of fun. Okay, here we go. Matt Wrestling. This is a weird thought, but tell me if you can see it, okay? Tell me if you see the vision. When I look at Stephanie Vaquer, I imagine this is what Morticia Addams from the Addams Family might have looked like in high school. Morticia, not Wednesday, the daughter. But I could see, a high school senior Gomez just being like, La Primera. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me know. Let me know if I'm off base on that. But I see a little bit of that there. Ironically, Roxanne Perez also kind of reminds me of a rebellious Wednesday Addams. Now that I'm just sitting here thinking about the Addams family and looking at these 2 performers. But is what it is. All right. A lot of back and forth here. I mean, good chemistry here between Stephanie and Roxanne. Man. Crowd shows their appreciation. NXT chants from the crowd. I wonder how much of this crowd has been present all weekend long, because I will say this NXT crowd, and they're also not in Orlando too, but this NXT crowd has probably been the least excited of every crowd all weekend that I've heard. Not that it's been bad. They're still in it, but as we all know, as we commune together every week, the NXT faithful are always far more vocal about this stuff. And I wonder if if the guys and gals here in Vegas are just fatigued from the weekend. Because there was a lot of stuff going on. Tyrell says, I don't know if Ricky cost Lexus King his Heritage Cup. He's just upset that he lost. Absolutely. Ricky didn't have anything to do with that match. They just had a promo battle before the match started. I mean, that didn't have nothing to do with Ricky. Boom. Back suplex right in the middle of the ring. Oh, boy. Somebody call Charmel. Tell her to check on Booker because it's about to get wild. Oh, look at Roxanne. She rolls it all the way out of the ring, or she's trying to get out of the ring to prevent the Devil's Kiss, which is what I've heard she refers to it as. Oh, eye rake while the ref wasn't looking. Oh, Roxanne into the corner, boot to the face, coming back with a knee down to the back, working on the lower back, trying to prep her for the Pop Rocks. You know, it's interesting. Roxanne's little curtsy is very reminiscent of Triple H's when he was Jean-Paul Levesque and early Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He did that same taunt. That was his crowd taunt, not his quarter taunt for all you 2K players. Man, quite a move there, an arm twist and down into a knee drop to hurt that shoulder or that elbow. All right. It's been a very eventful week for wrestling. Obviously biggest wrestling weekend of the year, and so much content. It's an amazing time to be a wrestling fan. So much to talk about, so much to take in, and as we're about to end NXT here, in the next 10 minutes or so, and get a few days off before SmackDown comes back. It's been a really wild ride since last Friday, guys, and it has been a pleasure just being alongside you guys as things are going around, as all these goings on are happening. It was a blast getting to live stream Mania, even if Mania didn't always hold up. So thanks for those of you who hung out with me during that time. It was so much fun. So I'm definitely going to see you guys for SmackDown. I should be in the chat neighborhood for A&B then, unless anything arises out of the ordinary. And of course, next Tuesday, before you guys join me again for NXT, make sure that you check out the A&B Combos Wrestling Podcast. Justin Hallencrane asking, could you imagine if Queen Charmel joins Heyman's faction? That would be so different. I can't see Charmel's vibe clicking with Heyman's vision, but it would be nuts. It would be nuts for sure. And I would give it a chance. Man, Roxanne really working that arm now of Stephanie instead of the lower back. So might be going for a different kind of maneuver here to put La Primera away. It was definitely a vibe, T-Man. Absolutely. Oh, man. It's so interesting with Roxanne, no disrespect with her being so short, the way she takes bumps sometimes. They throw her into a corner. She kind of gets low and she takes a bump on the middle turnbuckle instead of on the top. And, man, it just looks like it hurts more even sometimes. So respect to her there. Oh, Vaquer dislocated her thumb on Saturday, and she's still in here with a taped up right hand. Jeez. Uh-oh, they're on a ramp. Old early 90s WCW style. Spinning strikes and a headbutt. And super kick. Oh, reverse. Well, not reverse, but 619 from the outside in. Boom. Cross body out of the ring onto the entrance ramp. Crowd woke up for that. Springboard crossbody. Boom, an 8 to feet. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Charging into the corner. Boom, Meteora right in the face. Queen Charmel and Booker T and JCU. All right, everybody get riled up. Booker's about to lose his mind. We're going slowly this time. Oh, Booker. Now the camera cuts to Booker. Booker said, it's been a long week. She pointed at Booker. Oh my gosh. It's a sign in the crowd that just says, oh yeah, man. Oh my gosh. The crowd is begging for one more time, but Stephanie's going for the finish though. Reverse and now going for a looked like she was going for an armbar, but got rolled up. Oh, 6 super kick by Roxanne. Going for the charge, but Stephanie catches her. Now, what are we doing? Man, she just kind of deadlifted her into a backbreaker. Dude, Booker T is thirstier than I don't know. I don't even know how to finish that. I wouldn't Diglets. I hope she's okay, but like Vaquera is because Vaquera's been through the ringer this weekend. I mean, I know it's wrestling and I know they all trust each other. Oh man, head scissors into a crossface. Oh my gosh. Steph is in trouble. She's in a crossface in the middle of the ring. But yeah, Steph needs a break. She doesn't need to Bret Hart this thing and wrestle every single week. I think she's earned a little bit of a reprieve until the next show. But Roxanne has rolled back into the center of the ring. Man, just trading roll-ups. It's like Savage and Steamboat in here. 2 counts everywhere. Spinning kick, but is caught by Stephanie and hits one with one of her own. All right, Roxanne into the corner. Up and over. Could we get a Pop Rocks out of the corner? Nope. And Vaquera throws her up on the top turnbuckle, but she slips off. Now she's got her legs. Oh, dragon screw leg whip out of the corner. Now Stephanie says it's time for the SVD. Got her. Is that it? 1, 2, and that's that. Stephanie retains. That's game, set, match for La Primera. And what a defense. Hey, those ladies did well. They did well. So Stephanie retains. Oh, someone else has got a little devil horns, got a little Stephanie cosplay. Man, well, I always figured Roxanne would lose clean in NXT until once it was time for her to go. I mean, hopefully she's going to move her way up now. I hope. We'll see what happens. But because I don't know where Roxanne goes from here. Oh, who's here now? Who's calling their shot? Is it Julia? Julia's here. Just to remind you, I still want that title back. Are we just getting Julia? And the stare down. These two ladies aren't done yet. They still have business. Oh, Jordan Grace is in the balcony, staring at him too. HBK's big three, man. They are they're still gonna cook. They're still going for it. So that's a wrap on NXT, guys. Thank you so much for joining tonight. So let's leave those ratings in the chat. Let me know what your marked moment is for tonight. There will always be a poll on the YouTube page as well later on tonight for you to vote and what your marked moment is. I'll give you some options, but we can also just talk it out right now as well. Leave those ratings in the chat, what you got, and what was your moment of the night. So George Lewis giving us NXT a solid 8.5. I respect that completely. Swig of orange cream Coke Zero for the working man. 8.5 out of 10 for Tyrell Breed, Black Panther Gaming. I think 8.5 is a good number for tonight because there's still. George is right. The main event was good. Justin Allen Crane says 10 out of 10, and that's just to hell yeet. So, yeah, good show tonight. I mean, a good show because the thing with NXT that separates it from Raw and SmackDown is that you have to balance the developmental with the stars who have caught on immediately with the crowd, right? So you've got an amazing world title scene of Obafemi now doing a dance with Joe Hendry, but Trick Williams also still being in that picture. You've got Julia, Jordan, and Stephanie ready to go. Great match with Roxanne. And then you've got the tag division that's developing and, Liv and Raquel coming to visit. So we'll see what we got. 3 Diglets says 6.5 out of 10. Marked moment was Gigi losing again. Thanks, Mandy Rose, or thanks, Mandy. Thanks, Mandy. T-Man said it was a pretty solid show, minus Joe Hendry. T-Man does not believe in Joe Hendry. That's okay. Ricky Saints moving on, looking to Lexus King, but All Ego, Ethan Page still waiting in the wings as well. We definitely got some Goodfellas vibes. The harder parts of Goodfellas with the D'Angelo family tonight. Yeah, Dark State still doing their thing. Stax may or may not have murdered Luca out in the Nevada desert tonight. And we get the return, the official. We also have the the official return and reinstatement of One Chase University. So we've yet to see that take place on screen, but we did see the sweater tonight. A good, good teaser, good appetizer, a good mozzarella stick of what's to come. And so that'll all be great. So, guys, once again, just appreciate you all so much. Again, you can always donate to the channel as you want to see us grow as we continue to go. Thank you guys so much for being such a good, supportive, engaging community all weekend long. Had such a blast with you guys, and NXT will roll on, and we will roll on with it together every single Tuesday. WrestleMania was a blast. May all your plans in life go according to what you want, and may there be no Dwayne Johnsons in your life who come along just because they feel like it and railroad things and then gaslight you into thinking it was a good idea. So thank you so much for being a part of this community, for being a part of this chat tonight. I will do my best to be in the chat on Friday to be with you guys for SmackDown, because I'm wanting to see that TLC match live with you guys. I'm wanting to see what Cody has to say after WrestleMania live with you guys. And I'm wanting to see Jacob Fatu cutting a backstage walking promo with that U.S. belt. All gas, no brakes. I want to see all that live with you guys. Watching wrestling together is so much fun. And I want to be there with you guys when that happens. So one more thing, just Nell and Crane, which I honestly think Mrs. Marked by Wrestling would have so much fun with this too, because she also loved Queen Charmel just as much as she loves King Booker. I wish Queen Charmel managed Stephanie Vaquer so she could keep an eye on Booker T. I mean, if Booker keeps this up, it would be a lot of fun just to bring in Charmel even for one night, just to side eye him at a minimum for all this nonsense and all this thirst trapping and all this, what do they call it? All this simping that he's been doing. Because come on, Booker, gotta wise up. You've got a queen at home already, you know. And for all of us who got a queen at home, you know, let's act right. So, nevertheless, in the world of thanks, Mandy, we'll all keep that close to heart whenever something goes wrong. Thanks, Mandy. Again, appreciate you guys so much. Have a great evening. I'll see you guys hopefully on Friday. If not, I'll definitely see you right back here next Tuesday for more NXT. Don't forget to be a mark. Don't forget to believe. And because you can find your joy in watching wrestling that way, even when bad decisions might want to try to take them away from you. So don't forget to fight for your joy in being a wrestling fan and find a place to do that. All right. I am out, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless. And thanks, Mandy.